Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from Group 2.
We would like to talking about book that we have reviewed,
And the title is How to Read a Book by Morten Stiegler and Charles Van Doren. And this book, we're going to choose the first chapters, which is we're going to use a PPT or PowerPoint to explain it. And the first speaker will be delivered by me, Ilma Yasa, and the second speaker will be delivered by
Manda Rosa Emiliana.
and the last speaker is
Alfi Fadila.
So without washing our time, let's we move to make the video. Bye-bye. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. So we are from Group 2 and today we would like to present our final assignment, Speaking for Formal Sitting course. The title of our presentation is How to Read a Book by Mortimer G. Adler and Charles Van Doren. Let's we begin with chapter 1. In the first slide, which is chapter 1, the activity art of reading. In chapter 1, Adler and Van Doren explained that reading is both an activity and an art. Reading is an activity because it requires the reader to think actively while reading text. We cannot simply look at words and expect to understanding everything automatically. The authors also describe reading as an art because it is a skill that develops through practices and experience. Just like learning music or painting, reading becomes more better when we practice it regularly. Good readers try to understand ideas, connect information, and reflect on what they read. These chapters remind us that reading is not a passive process. Instead, it is an intellectual activity that helps us grow, learn, and develop our thinking abilities. For example, when reading a novel, a good reader not only follows the story but also think the characters, themes, and message behind the story. So, the main idea of the chapters is that reading requires active participation and continuous practice. Move to the next slide. Is about the active reading. The next topic is an active reading. Active reading means becoming involved with the text instead of reading passively. According to the authors, readers should ask questions, think about important ideas, and evaluate the information they receive. And active readers often take notes, highlight key points, and try to connect new information with that they already know. These processes help them understand the text more deeply. So the author believed that reading should be like a conversation between the reader and the authors. Even though the author is not physically present, readers can interact with the author's idea through questioning and reflection. For example, while reading an article, we can ask ourselves, what is the main idea or why this information important? Therefore, active reading helps readers gain better understanding and remember information more effectively. We move to the next slide. The differences between reading and understanding. This slide discusses the difference between reading and understanding. Many people think that reading a book means understanding it. However, Adler and Van Doren explain that these are two different things. A person might be able to read every word on a page but still fail to understand the other message. Understanding happens when readers can explain ideas in their own words and connect them to other knowledge or experiences. This requires concentration, critical thinking, and reflections. The author emphasized that the true goal of reading is not simply finishing a book but gaining understanding from it. This is what makes reading meaningful and valuable. For instance, a student might memorize information for an exam, but if they cannot explain it clearly afterward, it means they have not fully understood it. In conclusion, reading is the process of recognizing words, while understanding is the process of discovering their meaning.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity given to me. I'm Manda Rosa Emiliana, the second presenter in my group, and today I will explain several topics related to reading. Today I will explain three main topics. The first is reading for information and understanding, and the second is the importance of questioning, and the last is reading as communication. So let's start with the first topic. Okay, we start from the first topic, which is reading for information and understanding. On this slide, we learn that there are two main purposes of reading. The first purpose is reading for information. People read to gain fact, knowledge, and new information. For example, students read textbook, articles, or news to learn something new. And the second purpose is reading for understanding. In this type of reading, readers try to understand the writer's ideas and meaning more deeply. This type of reading is more challenging because it trains our thinking ability and helps improve intellectual growth. For example, when we read a novel and try to understand the moral value or message from the story, it means we are reading for understanding. And then this slide also explains that difficult books can teach readers new ways of thinking. Now let's continue to the next topic, which is the importance of questioning. This slide explains why questioning is important while reading. Good readers usually ask questions in their minds during the reading process. They try to understand what the author means and why certain ideas are important. And then questioning helps readers stay focused, active, and more engaged while reading. It also improves comprehension and critical thinking skills. For example, when reading a text about environmental problems, readers may ask why plastic pollution is dangerous. By asking questions, readers can understand the text more deeply. This slide also explains that readers who never ask questions may misunderstanding the text. Okay, now let's move to the last topic, which is reading as communication. This slide explains that reading is a form of communication between the writer and the reader. Through books and texts, authors share ideas, experience, and knowledge with people from different places and different times. Readers must read carefully in order to understand the author's talk and message correctly. If readers read too quickly or without attention, misunderstanding can happen. So, good reading requires patience, focus, and effort. For example, when we read books written by authors from other countries, we are actually communicating with them through their writing. In my opinion, reading is very important because it not only gives us information, but also improves our way of thinking and communication skills. I also believe that questioning while reading helps readers become more critical and active. By understanding the writer's message carefully, readers can gain deeper knowledge and avoid misunderstanding. To conclude, reading has many important purposes. Reading helps people gain information, understand ideas, think critical through questioning, and communicate with writers through text. These skills are very important in education and daily life.
Okay, and the next I will explain you about the rule of discipline in reading. Reading will require discipline and mental effort. Serious readers must control distraction and focus carefully on the text. Difficult book cannot be understood through lazy reading habits. Readers should take notes, reread important part, and think deeply about arguments. Discipline improves both comprehension and memory. Strong reading habits develop over time through regular practice. Okay, and the next, reading is a lifelong skill. The authors explain that reading is a lifelong learning skill. People continue learning through books long after formal education ends. Reading helps individuals grow intellectually and emotionally throughout life. Great books introduce readers to important ideas and experience. A person who reads seriously can continue developing knowledge independently. Reading keeps the mind active and open the new perspective. In the next, I will explain you about the value of good reading habits. Good reading habits improve academic success and personal growth. Readers who practice active reading understand information more deeply. They also become better thinkers and communicators. Reading regularly strengthens vocabulary, concentration, and analytical skill. These benefits are useful in education, work, and daily life. The chapter encourages readers to develop disciplined reading habits from an early stage. Okay, and now I will give you the conclusion from this book. In the first chapter, in this chapter, explain that reading is an active intellectual process that requires skill, discipline, and participation. The author emphasized that true reading goes beyond recognizing words because it involves understanding ideas deeply. Readers must think critically, ask questions, and interact with the text carefully. Reading is also a lifelong skill that helps people continue learning independently. Good reading habits strengthen knowledge, reasoning, and communication abilities. In conclusion, this chapter teaches that becoming a skilled reader is essential for intellectual growth and lifelong learning.
Okay guys, maybe that's all from Group 2.